Have you ever seen a country where women are the ones who propose? A place where a village of actual dwarves exists? A town with only one resident, yet it has its own entry visa? And what about a street so steep that cars have to be parked sideways to avoid sliding down? How do the locals manage? What's even more surprising is that the cost of living is only 60% of what it is in the US. This is New Zealand, a strange land where what seems like a joke is actually true. Join us as we explore the 15 most bizarre and astonishing facts about New Zealand in today's travel documentary. Number 15. New Zealand, the land at the edge of the world. New Zealand is isolated in the southwestern Pacific, over 1,200 miles from Australia, and is often referred to as the faraway neighbor of the civilized world. This country consists of two main islands, the North Island and the South Island, along with more than 700 smaller islands, covering about 104,000 square miles. Slightly larger than Colorado, but with an astonishingly low population density. As of mid-2025, New Zealand has over 5.2 million residents, just a third of New York City's population. Interestingly, there are more than 29 million sheep here, which means there are nearly 6 sheep for every person. The population primarily consists of people with European ancestry, indigenous Maui, Pacific Islanders, and a growing Asian community. The official languages are English and Maori, a language that nearly vanished but has seen a strong revival in culture and education. New Zealand boasts a diverse landscape that stretches from snow-capped mountains and glacial lakes to tropical rainforests and pristine beaches. The climate is mild, with 4 distinct seasons, and winter runs from June to August, an interesting reverse compared to the Northern Hemisphere. What's particularly special is that in a country where you can ski in the morning and surf in the afternoon, you don't have to choose between mountains and the sea, because New Zealand offers both in the same day. Number 14. A real hobbit village. Hobbitan exists. Have you ever dreamed of stepping into the world of Frodo Baggins? In New Zealand, that dream is not only real but so immersive that you might forget you're in the 21st century. Hobbitan, the legendary village from The Lord of the Rings, is located in Matamata on the North Island. Set on a 1,200-acre dairy farm in the Matamata region, Hobbitan was handcrafted for the film's scenery. After its overwhelming success, it has been preserved as a living village. Here you can stroll through 44 charming hobbit homes, wander through lush vegetable gardens, admire green round doors, tiny furniture, a wooden well, and chimneys that puff smoke every morning. There are no plastic items or LED lights. Everything is made by hand from real stone, wood, and plants. The residents of Matamata are genuine and consider hospitality an integral part of their culture. They call you mate, even if it's your first meeting, and are happy to offer you a cold beer or help you find your way with all their heart. Many locals work as farmers by day and Hobbitan tour guides by night, sharing tales of Middle-earth as if they truly lived there. Movie-loving visitors and those seeking classic experiences will enjoy a craft beer at the Green Dragon Inn, sitting under the party tree where Bilbo once gave a speech, or standing where Gandalf rode into the village. Interestingly, the Maori call this area the home of little dreams, as it evokes memories, imagination, and innocence in the hearts of adults. Believe it or not, many people celebrate their birthdays at Hobbitan, just like hobbits would. Are you ready to pop into Bilbo's house for a hobbit beer? If so, comment with the number 5. If you're having second thoughts because you think you're too old for a fairy tale, then comment with the number 6. Number 13. A land of amazing women, New Zealand women. If you think beauty requires makeup, fancy dresses, or lofty poses, New Zealand women will redefine the word attractive for you. They grow up surrounded by mountains, oceans, and fresh air, where hair blowing in the wind after a day outside becomes a badge of freedom. From Wellington to Queenstown, you might encounter girls in sweatpants and hoodies, driving rugged trucks, surfing alone at dawn, and teaching yoga by the campfire at night. They often go without makeup, embracing their natural curly hair, sun-kissed skin, and a confident beauty that isn't painted on but lived out every day. New Zealand women were the first in the world to gain the right to vote in 1893, and they continue to rank at the top globally for gender equality and personal freedom. They run farms and even operate businesses from tiny homes on hills, enjoying a minimalist yet happy lifestyle. Particularly interesting, in Wellington, women often take the lead in dating and are very friendly to foreigners. You might find local girls chatting happily in cafes, sharing hiking tips, or simply greeting you with a day mate, something you don't find everywhere in the world. And if you're wondering if they're open to international love, the answer is very likely, especially if you're kind, genuine, and ready to share a simple and free-spirited life with them. Want to know how to befriend them? Leave a comment with the number 8. I'll share tips on connecting with a wonderful woman the Kiwi way. Number 12. Weitomo, New Zealand's underground galaxy. Underground galaxy in New Zealand. You don't have to look up to see the stars. You can just look down into the cave. The Weitomo glowworm caves are one of the most beautiful and strange places in the world, where millions of Arachnocampa luminosa, a species of glowworm found only in New Zealand, glow like an underground galaxy. Weitomo is made up of ancient limestone that's more than 30 million years old, dating back to before the dinosaurs went extinct. Interestingly, these glowworms spin webs and glow to attract prey. The cave tours take place in complete darkness, where you'll drift through the cave on a boat. No flashlights, no talking, just the sound of running water and the brilliant starry sky above. It feels like flying through space. No wonder many filmmakers have called it a place that's actually more beautiful than CGI. Discovered by Maui hundreds of years ago, Weitomo has deep spiritual significance and has welcomed visitors since 1889. Every year, more than 1 million tourists from all over the world visit this magical place. Number 11. Unique spa services only found in New Zealand. Have you ever relaxed in an outdoor jacuzzi in Colorado? Now imagine a wilder, more primitive version in New Zealand, especially in Rotorua, known as the capital of hot springs. People come not just to bathe, but to connect with nature by soaking in cedar tubs surrounded by forests. They believe that soaking in hot springs is a way to wash away fatigue, heal the spirit, and prepare for major life milestones. Today, this tradition is brought to life at famous spas like Hell's Gate, where you can immerse yourself in traditional Maori mineral mud before relaxing in a cedar tub overlooking a volcano. Some places even serve hangi food cooked with geothermal steam, just like the Maori ancestors used to do. At onsen hot pools in Queenstown, you can soak among snow-capped mountains, gazing at the legendary Remarkables, feeling as if you're bathing in a relaxing version of The Lord of the Rings. Many couples even choose to get engaged or celebrate anniversaries in the wooden tub under the stars above hot waters. With prices ranging from $30 to $60 per visit, you're not just buying a bath. You're purchasing a ticket back to nature and to yourself. Would you choose a 5-star hotel or a wooden tub in nature? Comment below. Number 10. Baldwin Street, the steepest street in the world. Can you believe that in New Zealand there's a street so steep that if you drop a tennis ball, it'll roll almost endlessly? That's Baldwin Street, located in Dunedin, which was once recognized by Guinness World Records as the steepest street in the world, with a gradient of 38%. That means for every 9 feet you walk horizontally, you climb nearly 3 feet vertically. Interestingly, in 2019, Baldwin lost its title to a street in Wales, but regained it in 2020 after Guinness apologized for miscalculating the slope. The locals were so thrilled that they printed images of the street on t-shirts, coffee mugs, keychains, and even pet collars. Because of the extreme incline, residents have to park their cars sideways rather than parallel. Cars here must use the best handbrakes, and locals are so used to climbing the hill that it feels like their morning workout. If they're not careful, cars could roll back down. The houses are designed against the slope, meaning they appear tilted from the outside but are balanced once you step inside. Every year, thousands participate in the race to the top of Baldwin, and the winner receives a special medal. In winter, it turns into a natural ski slope. Once, the whole town even attempted to make the steepest cake in the world, but the frosting slid right down to the bottom before they could cut it. Number 9. Wangamomana, the most unique town in New Zealand. Wangamomana is a small town in the Stratford district and the Manawatu-Whanganui region of New Zealand. With just 30 to 40 residents, it's famously the only place that ever declared itself a republic, with its own passports, national holiday, and even a president. Interestingly, the government building here is actually a Victorian pub over 100 years old. Visitors can enjoy a cold beer while applying for a republic passport for just a few dollars, all completely legal within the town. Nearby is what is probably the world's smallest gas station. Just a single pump, with no awning, no staff, and you fill up and pay yourself. The culture here is all about absolute mutual trust. No one locks their doors during the day. The houses around town are handcrafted from wood with dark-colored metal roofs. Backyards often double as goat pens or garages. Some homes retain their early 20th century architecture, featuring long porches, wooden paneling, and trellises covered in climbing vines. There are no police, no security cameras, and no traffic lights, yet the town has remained peaceful for a century. Everyone here has a unique nickname, like Dave who whispers to the goats or Nina the flag-raising queen. Even more interesting, every 2 years the whole town holds a presidential election where candidates can be people, dogs, or goats. Number 8. The Kiwi Bird, the world's cutest national symbol. In a country where the residents proudly call themselves Kiwis, it's no surprise that the national symbol is not a majestic eagle or a mighty lion but a tiny, flightless, nocturnal, and extremely shy bird, the kiwi. This little creature embodies the unique cultural identity of New Zealand. Interestingly, the kiwi has a long, curved beak and is the only bird in the world with a sense of smell stronger than sight. It uses its beak to sniff out food in the ground, functioning like a detective with a nose. In the wild, kiwi eggs are about 25% of the mother's body weight, making them some of the largest eggs in the animal kingdom. New Zealanders love kiwis so much that many roads have signs reading "Kiwi Crossing," giving way to this timid bird. Kiwis are also known for their loyalty. Once they choose a mate, they stick together for life, building nests, hatching eggs, and raising young quietly but steadfastly. For Kiwis, this bird represents not just wildlife but their pride and spirit of authenticity. If you want to see a kiwi with your own eyes, head to the reserves in Rotorua or Zealandia. But remember to speak softly and move slowly, as kiwis don't like to be noticed. If you think this flightless bird deserves its national treasure status, comment with the number 9. Number 7. Life in Wellington, expat life in New Zealand. If you land in the capital city of Wellington on a December morning, the first thing you'll feel isn't a rush but a strong enough wind to blow your hat down the hill. This city has the highest average wind speed in the world, earning it the affectionate nickname Windy Well. Strangely, no one seems to mind. Wellingtonians still leisurely sip coffee on the sidewalks and read books in the park. Every home features a special detail, a tiny shoe awning right at the front door. This isn't just for show. Removing your shoes inside is an unwritten cultural norm. If you ask why, they'll smile and say, to keep the house clean and the mind light. On Kiwi Street, the most famous artistic avenue in the capital, you'll find musicians playing ukuleles, artists painting portraits on the spot, and vintage cafes tucked beside historic Edwardian buildings. Here, there's even a human-powered fountain that only springs up when someone rides a bike. Traffic in Wellington is also peculiar. People rarely honk, and if you sing a cheerful song on the bus, you might get a free ride, a way for the driver to reward those who dare to be themselves. At night, Courtney Place lights up. Cozy bars open their doors, and the sounds of jazz, indie, or Maori folk music fill the air. The vibe here feels like a pressure-free party. You might sip local wine while listening to an older woman tell Maori fairy tales right in the midst of the modern city. Interestingly, Wellington doesn't have a 6-lane highway or towering skyscrapers overshadowing the sky. Everything here is just enough to let you hear the ocean waves, smell the manuka trees, and believe that an ideal city doesn't have to be noisy. Number 6. Things to do in New Zealand, a wonder of the world. If you think traveling is just about taking pictures and enjoying the scenery, New Zealand will make you reconsider. Here, you can join in on helifishing, which means fishing by helicopter. It's an experience you can only have in spectacular terrains like the Southern Alps, where helicopters take you to untouched mountain areas where no fishing rod has ever been. At Milford Sound, dubbed the 8th wonder of the world, towering cliffs embrace a fjord with mirror-like black water, waterfalls cascading hundreds of feet, and clouds drifting across mountain peaks like a watercolor painting. You can kayak among the clouds or take a helicopter tour around the snow-capped range. Further south, Lake Tekapo shines a stunning turquoise, looking like a computer screen with a Photoshop filter. At night, you can gaze up at a sky full of stars, where the Milky Way shines so brightly you don't even need binoculars. At Weitomo Geothermal Park, the champagne pool steams bright orange and neon blue, as if from another planet. Meanwhile, Franz Josef Glacier is one of the few glaciers you can walk up to, trekking through thousands of years of ice and then soaking in hot springs nearby. Especially in Abel Tasman National Park, you can kayak in the sea, explore seal caves, camp right on golden beaches, and watch dolphins surf the waves. Number 5. The Maori, greeting with a nose touch? New Zealand people. If there's a country where respect and connection are expressed through a nose touch, it's New Zealand. The Maori, the indigenous people making up about 16% of the population, have a traditional greeting ritual called hangi, where two people touch noses to exchange the breath of life. For the Maori, hangi is not just a greeting, it's a way to accept someone as a member of the community, which deeply moves many foreign visitors. What's even more interesting is that in Maori culture, women can propose, especially during traditional ceremonies. The woman will present a token, which might be a handcrafted bracelet, as a sign of her intention. For the Maori, love must stem from equality and the freedom to choose, something many American gentlemen might find refreshingly new yet compelling. Everyday life for the Maori mostly happens in rural areas like Rotorua, where they build wooden houses, live with multiple generations, and cook using hangi, a traditional underground steam cooking method. Life revolves around nature. They soak in hot springs, share ancestral stories by the fire, and believe that every bird or gust of wind carries the spirit of their ancestors. Before significant events, you'll see them perform haka, a powerful Maori dance proclaiming, "This is a culture rich in respect and inspiration." Number 4. The sheep walking service found only in New Zealand. Have you ever walked a dog? Well, have you ever tried walking a 110-pound sheep wandering in the pasture in New Zealand? There's a quirky experience that makes anyone chuckle at first, but has thousands of international tourists lining up to try renting a sheep for a walk in the countryside. In regions like Waikato, Otago, or Queenstown, you can actually take a 50-kilogram sheep for a stroll like a pet, grooming them, calling their names, and snapping selfies in vast meadows that look like scenes from The Hobbit. Interestingly, New Zealand has over 25 million sheep, while the population is just around 5.2 million people. That means every citizen owns about 5 sheep. By name, the farms here have turned that into a unique tourist experience where visitors learn how to speak the pasture language that only Kiwis know. Well, in some places, sheep even know how to follow customers, stand still for photos, or even sit next to you during breaks. Some farmers proudly say, "Each of us has our own whistle. Just whistle and the sheep will return as if you called their name." There was even a national sheep whistling competition, and the government once even appointed a national conductor for the sheep, showing just how important these animals are in Kiwi culture. Number 3. New Zealand culture, the country of unique festivals. If you ever thought festivals were just about dancing and eating, then you should visit New Zealand, where every festival is a uniquely artistic performance. Starting in the capital city of Wellington, the world of wearable art, WOW, show stages an otherworldly fashion show. Here, models showcase creations made from metal, recycled paper, wood, dried flowers, and even electronic components, all combined with laser lights, modern dance, and electronic music. It creates a truly unique visual fashion spectacle. Tickets typically sell out just days after going on sale, like a rock concert in the art world. In Auckland, every March, the Pacifica Festival transforms the park into a miniature Polynesian archipelago, showcasing cultures from over 10 Pacific island nations like Fiji, Tonga, and Samoa. You'll be able to enjoy Polynesian street food, participate in traditional dances, and immerse yourself in the captivating drumming rhythms of indigenous culture. This is the largest Pacific festival in the world, and if you visit during Chinese New Year, don't miss the Lantern Festival in Auckland or Christchurch. Thousands of glowing lanterns, lion dancing, Asian music, and dishes like dim sum, bao buns, and feijo will be served during this lively 3 to 4 day festival that attracts hundreds of thousands of attendees. Number 2. The cost of living in New Zealand. Living in New Zealand is a worthwhile consideration if you're seeking a quality lifestyle at a reasonable cost. On average, living expenses in New Zealand are about 35 to 45% lower than in major cities in the US like New York or San Francisco. Rent for a one-bedroom apartment in cities like Wellington or Christchurch ranges from $950 to $1,200 per month, while smaller towns have rates around $750. Basic utilities like electricity, water, gas, and high-speed internet cost about $110 to $140 per month. Weekly grocery shopping for fresh produce, fish, local lamb, and seasonal fruits averages $60 to $80. Dining out at a mid-range restaurant costs about $12 to $18, and a delicious cappuccino is around $3.50. The bus and train systems are very reliable. Average fares are just $2 to $3 per ride, with monthly passes costing between $60 to $90. Gym memberships are about $30 to $50 per month, and a basic dental checkup runs around $40 to $60 per visit. Overall, a comfortable monthly living expense for one person in New Zealand currently falls between $1,300 to $1,600, depending on the city and lifestyle. With these costs, would you choose to settle here? If yes, choose 1. If no, choose 0. Please share your answer in the comments. Number 1. New Zealand, a food paradise. If you think New Zealand's cuisine only features lamb and pastries, get ready to be surprised. This country boasts an array of unique, rich dishes offering experiences from traditional Maori feasts to globally recognized superfoods. Start with hangi, an indigenous Maori meal that has been around for centuries. Meat and vegetables are wrapped and buried underground, cooked by hot stones. No fire, no pans, just the smoky aroma infusing every tender, sweet morsel. Many call it underground barbecue, both delicious and steeped in community culture. If you want to try something fancier, sample paua, a rare black abalone known for its crunchy texture and shimmering gem-like shell. Meanwhile, the big plump green-lipped mussels are a favorite among American tourists, often steamed in white wine or baked with garlic and cheese. Kina, or live sea urchin, is considered local caviar. The Maori enjoy it raw, while chefs use it for upscale sushi creations. No New Zealand celebration is complete without roast lamb, which is tender and flavorful, usually served with baked potatoes and a special sauce. A traditional dinner often concludes with pavlova, a meringue cake with a crispy outer layer and soft center, topped with fresh fruit. And lastly, LNP, lemon and paroa, a uniquely Kiwi lemon soda so beloved that there's even a giant LNP bottle statue in the town square. We've explored 15 mind-blowing facts about New Zealand together. Thank you for watching until the end of our travel documentary. We hope you've gained a fresh perspective on this country. See you in the next video.